What is the spiritual dream meaning of a balcony? Well, the answer starts, and tragically, it also ends, with the story of a woman who pretty much lived her entire life on one. Her name was Sylvia Plath.
Just think about that for a second. She spent her whole life on this psychological edge, this threshold between the world and, well, nothingness. She had this absolutely incredible panoramic view of life, of pain, of beauty, but she was always just one single step away from falling.
I mean, this woman was a prodigy, right? She published her first poem when she was just 8 years old. By 30, she'd written The Bell Jar, one of the most blistering novels ever about what it feels like to suffocate under that glass dome of depression. She saw everything from her vantage point, from her balcony. And then, right at the peak of her brilliance, she chose to step off the edge instead of coming back inside.
And that's it, right there. That's the core of it. She had the perspective, the amazing insight, the view, but she had no way back to safety. This is exactly what a balcony dream is trying to scream at you.
And if you've had this dream of standing there on a balcony, looking out, maybe looking down, you know this feeling. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It sticks with you all day. It feels so important. So why? Why does this one image feel so incredibly potent, so real when you wake up?
Okay, let's be really, really clear about this. A balcony dream is not some passive little movie your brain plays at night. It is your soul staging an intervention. It is your psyche pulling the fire alarm, forcing you to wake up and pay attention. This is a message.
What's happening here is your soul is holding up a giant mirror and forcing you to look. It is showing you precisely where you are standing in your life, right now, on that threshold between your private inner world and the public outer one. It's a literal snapshot of your psychological position. So, the dream is asking you some very blunt questions. You have to ask yourself, am I just an observer? Am I just watching my own life go by from a distance? Am I on the verge of a massive breakthrough, a huge leap forward? Or am I dangerously close to a breakdown? The answer is right there in how the dream felt.
And that brings us to the most crucial point. This balcony, this perspective that you have in your life, is one of two things. It is either a powerful gift, an incredible vantage point, or it's a prison cell that keeps you totally isolated. There's really no in between.
And look, this isn't just some abstract spiritual idea. It's totally anchored in hard psychology. In cognitive behavioral therapy, the balcony is what they call the observer self, that healthy part of you that can step back and watch your thoughts without getting totally swept away by them. In relational psychology, it's a direct metaphor for connection. Are you inside with other people, or are you stuck outside, all alone?
And this just lays it out perfectly. Look at the two paths. On one hand, the balcony is this sacred space, right? It's a gift, it's healthy detachment, it's your soul's vantage point. But on the other hand, it's dangerous isolation. It's watching, not living. It's being totally disconnected. It is hovering over the void, a prisoner of your own perspective. Which, of course, brings us right back to Sylvia Plath. She had the ultimate view from the edge. She was brilliant, deeply perceptive, painfully aware of everything. And with all of that incredible insight, she was completely and utterly alone. She stood on that metaphorical balcony for years, seeing the world with a kind of clarity most of us can't even imagine. But here was her fatal mistake. She never invited anyone out there with her, and she never, ever reached back to open the door and come inside. Her greatest gift, her perspective, became her trap.
So please hear this. Your balcony dream is not just a pretty picture your mind cooked up. It is not decoration. It is a diagnosis. And even more importantly, it's an opportunity.
The message is simple and it's urgent. Don't be Sylvia. Don't let your unique, beautiful perspective become a prison that isolates you until there's no way back. This dream isn't just a passive image. It's an active tool. It is your soul literally throwing you a rope, a lifeline, asking you, begging you to look at where you are and to make a conscious choice about what you do next. So there you are. The dream put you on the balcony. It placed you right at that threshold. The view is right there in front of you, but so is the door back inside. The lifeline isn't out there in the void. It's reaching back towards that door. It's connection. It's choosing to step back inside and really live. So the only question left is, are you going to grab it? Part 2. Okay, we're diving straight into the 10 variations of the balcony dream. Let's figure out what your psyche is screaming at you. Listen, pay attention to the details.
They are not random. They're precise. Your dreams? They aren't just junk mail from your subconscious. Think of them more like urgent, certified letters. So, let's open them.
All right, first up, the red alerts. These are the dreams that signal imminent psychological danger. And I mean it, this is not a drill.
Okay, so if you're dreaming of falling from a balcony, your nervous system is just screaming. A core belief you stood on has completely vaporized. The prescription here is immediate. Get physical. Put your feet on the floor. Breathe. Then you ask, what foundation is gone? Now, what if the balcony itself is broken? That structure you rely on, your job, maybe your relationship, your whole identity, it's about to give way. This is your final warning. You either fix it or you tear it down yourself before it takes you down with it. And maybe the most dangerous of all, being unable to get back inside. It means you've gotten so detached, you literally can't connect with real life anymore. The cure isn't more thinking, it's about doing. Go cook a meal, go play, rejoin the human race, and do it today.
So the dream is forcing a question on you. And don't just think about it, you have to answer it. What structure in your life is about to collapse? Look, your dream already knows the answer. It's time you finally admit it to yourself.
Okay, so we've moved from the terror of internal collapse, and now we're pivoting to your connections. Think of your relationships as a kind of landscape. The balcony dream. That's the survey.
So you dream you're standing alone on a balcony. This one can go one of two ways, right? You're in this observer phase, basically just watching your life instead of actually living it. The real question here is, why?
And here you see the two paths laid out perfectly. Is this a conscious choice for clarity? A strategic retreat to get some perspective? Or is it just fear? Are you hiding? Here's the tell. If the dream feels peaceful, you're probably gaining wisdom. But if it feels lonely, you're in danger of isolating yourself into oblivion. So you gotta ask yourself, for real, are you choosing this distance, or has fear chosen it for you? The prescription? It's simple, but it's definitely not easy. You have to step off the balcony. Participate instead of just watching. Say yes. Show up.
Now, what if you're with someone else on that balcony? Well, that means you're at a crossroads with that person. The prescription is clear. Have the conversation you are avoiding. And I don't mean tomorrow, I mean today. Now, if the balcony is crowded, that's a straight-up diagnosis of overwhelm. You are at capacity. You're holding on to way too many people, too many demands. The only solution is to audit your commitments and release one now. You have to protect your own structural integrity. Okay, so we've covered the warnings, we've covered the relationships. Now let's turn to the call to rise. These are the dreams about your potential. You dream you're looking down, but you're afraid? That means you have the wisdom, you have that elevated perspective, but you're just too scared to use it. That clarity you have, it's a gift, but fear is turning it into a cage. The prescription here is radical action. Speak your truth and give yourself a 72-hour deadline. On the flip side, if you're looking up from below, you feel like you're beneath someone's judgment. Or it could be that you're aspiring to be a better version of yourself. The work here is totally internal. First, name who you feel below, then write a letter from your higher self to yourself. And this brings up a critical question you have to face head on. Whose approval are you still living beneath? Say their name, picture their face, because that is the invisible architecture that's controlling your life. And finally, let's talk about the dreams of becoming. If you see a beautiful view from the balcony, that's a gift from your higher self. It's showing you what's possible. But, and here's the twist, it's not just a pretty picture, it's a responsibility. You have to act on the beauty you see. Take one step toward it this week. Now, what if you dream of tending the balcony, decorating it, caring for it? That means you're in a season of intentional self-cultivation. You're beautifying your inner world. And that is sacred work. You need to treat it that way. So there you have it. The warnings, the relational dynamics, the call to your highest potential, it's all there. Your dreams have literally handed you the blueprint. So the only question left is, will you dare to build? Part 3. Okay, understanding is not enough. It's time to act. It's time to get off the balcony. All right, we're starting where the battle is always the hardest, inside your own head. This is all about fighting that pull to overthink, to analyze your life until you're just not living it anymore. It's about getting out of your own head. So, this is for you, the overthinker.
Yeah, you. The one who's stuck up on that balcony of the mind, just watching, analyzing, but never actually descending into the life that's waiting right down there for you. And let's get one thing straight. Living only in your thoughts, this chronic overelevation without any action, that's how brilliant women literally disappear from their own lives. And we are just not going to let that happen. So here's your command. Every single morning, before you dare touch your phone, you are going to spend 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, on a physical sensory act. Feel the ground under your feet, hold a warm cup, connect with something real. Look, this isn't some self-care fluff. This is neurological rewiring. It's essential.
Okay, now let's talk to the spiritual seeker, the one whose spiritual life is so rich, so beautiful, it's becoming an escape, a way to live between worlds instead of actually in this one.
And let's just be brutally honest about this. Spirituality that doesn't flow back into your daily embodied life, that's not transcendence. No, it's dissociation dressed up as devotion. It turns that beautiful balcony into a lonely, lonely tower.
So here's the practice. Simple. Before you ascend, you must ground. Before any prayer, before any meditation, you say it out loud. I am here, I am in this body, I am in this life. Connect to your human reality first. Then and only then do you ascend.
All right, so once that inner world is grounded, we can start to turn outward. We're moving from the balcony of the mind to the bridges that connect us to other people. This is about going from isolation back to presence. And I'm talking now to the woman who's lost that connection. The one for whom the balcony, so slowly, so silently, has just become her entire world. Isolation doesn't show up with a big announcement. It just creeps in. But you need to hear this. You were made for more than just a view. You deserve a real life with real people in it. So your task is what we're calling the weekly bridge call. Find one safe person, one. And you're gonna call them, I said call, not text, once a week for 15 minutes. No agenda, just the raw, real connection of a human voice. It's time to build that bridge back.
Now, what about the woman who is doing all the work for everyone else? The caregiver. The one whose balcony is so overcrowded with other people's stuff, their needs, that the whole thing is about to collapse. Listen, you cannot sustain that weight forever. It's not possible. A structure that's overloaded is designed to fail. And protecting yourself, that's not selfish. It's a structural necessity. The people who truly, truly need you, they need you whole, not collapsed in a heap.
Your practice then is the sacred no. This week, just this week, you will say no to one request, one costly request. And I don't mean maybe or I'll try to get to it. I mean a full, kind, non-negotiable no. It's time to reclaim your space. Okay, now we move to the edge. This is for the women at a critical turning point. Because let me tell you, these moments, they are not for standing still. They are for decisive, immediate action. I am speaking directly to the woman in crisis right now. The one for whom this whole balcony thing isn't just some cute metaphor. It's a mirror of a very real, very present psychological danger. Listen to me. You are not weak for needing a railing to hold on to. You are wise, profoundly wise for building one before you think you need it. That is strength. So this is your life-saving tool. And you're not going to do it later. You're going to create it now. The emergency anchor protocol. Get something to write with. 3 people you can call at any hour, 2 physical places that make you feel safe, and 1 single sentence that reminds you why you are still here. This is your railing. All right, now for the woman in transition. The one who's in a season of active becoming. The one who is consciously tending to her life, deciding what stays and what has to go. And remember this. Becoming is not a passive thing that just happens to you. No, it's an active, conscious process. You aren't just growing, you are choosing who you grow into. And that is the most important work of your entire life. So your practice is the monthly inner life review. 4 questions to guide you. That's it. Ask yourself, what did I build this month? What did I release? What am I becoming? And what needs tending next? You have to honor your growth with this kind of intentionality. And finally, this is for the woman who is ready. You've seen the beautiful view, you've got the clarity, you have the vision, but you still haven't taken that first step. So here it is, the final, crucial reframe you need to hear. That beautiful view from your balcony,
It was never meant to be the destination. It was the map. It was meant to show you exactly where you need to go. Because vision without action, well, that's just a very pretty way of staying stuck.
Now go.